in that game. The Bears, they looked kind of mediocre and slow, if you will. Not even in the zone, I guess you could say. And that goes for Jay Cutler too. He didn't have a great game, and 190 yards, is that enough, Joe?
It's enough to lose the game.
So he can't win any games by throwing any less than 190 any less than 190 yards.
It's not that he won't, it's just that it's not likely.
So, as I said, one interception. What did you think about that interception? Was that on Jay or just another classic miscommunication?
I think it was more the defense reading, their ability to read Jay Cutler's predictable play.
Yeah,
know?
I hear you. So Jay Cutler, it's really tough to say. Obviously, he didn't have a great game, but it's tough to say that he can't be blamed for that interception or the fumble that he had Sunday. And what about those turnovers? Do those start up front with Jay Cutler, or does that just relate back to the whole offense?
I don't know. It's been weird for the Bears lately. It's just they don't look all well together.
No, they really don't. And that brings us to my next question here for you. Is it the same old Jay Cutler? Let's just get right down to it. Has Jay Cutler changed as a quarterback, or has he not? Has he just improved his attitude somewhat, and are his skills the same as they used to be?
I feel like in his attempt to become better, it didn't work out for him. Because he used to be ruthless with a cocky attitude.
Yeah.
And now he's lenient with, I don't know, mediocre performance.
Yeah, well, you can argue that his performance has always been mediocre with the Bears. I mean, he had that really good year with the Broncos. He made the Pro Bowl and as a rookie, and ever since he came to the Bears, he's just not good.
Yeah.
6 touchdown passes, 5 interception in the last 4 games. It's a 59 total quarterback rating. That's not good enough.
No.
That's Rex Grossman-like numbers. And do we have to mention Rex Grossman?
We don't, nor do we want to.
No. And Mark Trestman called Cutler, Mark Trestman and Phil Emery actually, called Cutler an, quote, elite quarterback because he has more wins than losses in his career, end quote. Does that prove anything? Wins and losses?
I mean, it does. Kind of.
59 and 52 in his career.
59. That's not even... Would you consider that elite? Or just...
Yeah, well, I mean, he has more wins than losses.
7 games.
I mean, I'm just telling you what Trestman and Phil Emery said. Do I agree with it? I'll tell you my answer. No. You know how many guys... Is Tim Tebow winning an elite quarterback? Tim Tebow has more wins and losses in his career.
No. I mean, there's just a lot to Jay Cutler. He has a lot of talent, and I don't know. It's hard not to see him as an elite quarterback. Not only because he has more wins and losses, but he is an all-around good quarterback. He's just not showing it as of late.
I don't think he's that good of a quarterback. To be honest with you, explain to me why he's such a good quarterback.
His comfortability. It's just there's a lot of things. It's hard to say this season and even somewhat last season because it wasn't shown.
Okay, what about the season before? Still was never elite.
He's elite.
No way, not even close.
Like, he's up there.
No.
Yeah.
Bottom third.
No way.
Yes, wait, what makes him elite? What does he do that says, wow, I want that guy in the fourth quarter of my football team, of their game, and I want him behind center? What makes you say that about Jay Cutler?
He's good.
In what way? Turning the football over? Making bad decisions? Trying to force footballs into places they shouldn't be?
And see, that's a part that makes him good. He's a risky quarterback. And just because he has failed attempts doesn't mean he hasn't... obviously he's doing it because he feels like he could. Because he does have the capability to do it.
He does have the capability to do it, but why would you do it in some of these situations that he... Okay, I am all for confidence in yourself. But to some point, you got to look at yourself and say, can I really make that pass?
And he can.
No, not all of them.
He just doesn't.
Some he has no chance on to make.
But that's with anybody.
That's fine too, but that's not all that goes into it. What makes Jay Cutler... what about Jay Cutler makes you want him on your football team?
He's good.
That's not a good answer.
What else? I won't. If he sucked, I wouldn't want him on my team. Okay. But he's good.
How is he good?
Because he puts it in hands. Just because he's not 100% quarterback, he's still good.
Joe, do you know how many interceptions this guy throws in terrible moments of the game?
This season.
No, every season.
No.
It has been a constant
It's
problem.
not a reoccurring thing.
It's been a constant problem ever since he came to the Bears.
I don't know. I don't think so.
I do. I just think, he need... Okay, you know what? I actually have a question for you for a second here. Fourth quarter, Super Bowl. Not that Jay Cutler would ever make it to a Super Bowl, but fourth quarter, Super Bowl. Who do you have down 7 points? You're down by 7 points. Who do you have as your quarterback? Eli Manning or Jay Cutler?
Wow. Well, you can't really compare the two.
Why not?
Because Eli Manning's been in them type of situations, and we know he can do it.
Bingo. He's been in those types of situations. Jay Cutler has not. And why?
Because he hasn't had a team around him.
Give me a break.
And this team that he has half the team right now.
Give me a break. You're saying Eli Manning with that 9-7 football team that they won the Super Bowl with had the team around him to win the Super Bowl? No. No.
Yes.
In what way?
Victor Cruz.
9-7.
Victor Cruz.
Okay, what about the other year, 2008? Victor Cruz wasn't there yet.
That's true. It's just the team around him.
No, it's Eli Manning having the skill set to do well in the fourth quarter of the Super Bowl.
So then why hasn't Tom Brady?
What about Tom Brady?
Why hasn't he beaten Eli Manning in the Super Bowl?
Because Eli Manning is domination in the Super Bowl.
He becomes a new quarterback, right?
Plus, Tom Brady and the Patriots were cheaters. They never won a Super Bowl without cheating. So let that be known. But come on, I mean, how can you even argue against picking Eli Manning over Jay Cutler in the Super Bowl?
Well, that's a terrible comparison.
That's a great comparison in my eyes. Two quarterbacks that are heavily criticized for their skill set, but obviously one has more experience than the other.
But think about why Eli Manning is criticized. Because he is a good quarterback and he plays like crap. And why is he playing like crap if he's good?
Right now, Eli Manning is playing like crap because nobody has a hold on that team right now. Tom Coughlin, he's going to be fired, I think, after this season. Nobody has a stranglehold on that team. Nobody's working hard, it looks like, for the Giants. I don't think Eli Manning has anything to do with it, honestly. No? I think he's a great quarterback stuck in a really bad situation. And don't say Jay Cutler is, because how can you not succeed with the weapons he has?
That's what I'm saying. He only has half the battle.
Okay, but he has the whole offense.
You can't expect him. He's putting up. Let's say he's putting up 14 points in the first. On the offense, but the defense is giving up 21 points. No matter what, you're not going to win.
Oh, hold on a minute. The Bears are supposed to be the type of offense that scores 30 points every single game. You know how many times they've done it this year? One. None. Actually, none. They've not one time, not even once.
And
why? I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. The talent's there. The offensive line is there. The running back is there. But is the quarterback there?
Yes.
No.
He is.
Joe, every other piece is there. So whose job is it to get it done once every piece is there? It's the quarterback's.
And he utilizes his players.
Has he utilized them this year?
He's tried.
He's failed.
Every quarterback fails.
No, you don't do it for... Listen, Brandon Marshall said it perfectly. 3-4 record for this team right now is completely unacceptable.
Very, yeah.
Yeah, and Jay Cutler's to blame for that. We're going to get more in-depth to this right after our first time out here on the Sam and Joe Show. If you'd like to join in on our Bears conversation, do you think Jay Cutler is to blame right now? Give us a call, 312-564-7375. We'll be waiting for your call. We'll be right back right after this.
Straight talk. Let's have some straight talk. Hey, what's up? It's Jason Cage. So I know semesters have started back in school. If you're sitting on your hands right now, you're like, man, I missed the deadline to get signed up somewhere. It's called the Illinois Center for Broadcasting in Lombard. If you want to do what we do, you want to get backstage to concerts, you want to sit behind a microphone, do your own show, maybe work behind the scenes, meet cool people, get free tickets to pretty much everything you can think of. Get all the fun perks that come along with being in the radio, TV, and sports broadcasting industry. The fast track is the Illinois Center for Broadcasting in Lombard. It's a 1-year course, all hands-on training. Get the leg up on the competition. They're going to get you set up and get you the skills that you'll need to jump right out of the door, right behind a microphone, doing your own show. It's called ICB, the Illinois Center for Broadcasting in Lombard. Get the tour set up. They're enrolling right now. Don't wait. beonair.com/CAGE. Hire me one day.
This month on Two Pad Stack Radio, Duffy, Marcus, and Riccardi will discuss whether it's right for the NHL to create new teams in Las Vegas, Seattle, and Quebec. And when the season does start, the boys of Two Pad Stack Radio will bring you the most comprehensive NHL breakdown of every team, player, goal, save, and hit. ChicagolandSportsRadio.com is also the home of the Northern Illinois University men's D2 hockey team. You can catch every home and away game here on CSR, starting with the home opener on September 19th as the Huskies take on the Missouri State University Ice Bears. During the hockey season, Two Pat Stack Radio will air every Tuesday from 5 to 8 p.m. on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. You can follow us on Facebook, Facebook.com/2PatStackRadio, and on Twitter at mgrass17, at ant_Ricardi91, and at sduffy2011. Two Pat Stack Radio. Hockey lives here.
It's Bears season again, and Game Time is going to cover your Chicago Bears all season long.
We'll go week to week covering the past and upcoming Bears games on Game Time with Gio and Tom. We'll give you our game predictions and break down the stats only on the Bear Claw, a Game Time favorite.
And we want your take on the Bears each week, so give us a call at 312-564-7375. Bear down and go Bears.
Football season is here, and Second City Sports is the place for the latest news and previews of what's ahead this Bears season.
Butler looking around. Touchdown to the back of the end zone to Brandon Marshall.
We'll talk this week's matchups featuring the Bears and the rest of the NFL. We'll also talk college football, Cubs, White Sox, and much more. So come join the fun with me, Lakina McGee, for Second City Sports, Thursdays noon to 2, only on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
Only on Chicagoland Sports Radio can you find Mike Pendleton, Chris Wallenga, Josh Lopez, and Steve Suff on Full Scale Sports Radio. Catch all the fun and the spirited debate of all things NFL, MLB playoffs, college football, and soon to be a little hockey, all from 7 to 10 on Wednesday nights. We welcome your thoughts and your opinions as long as you stick to your guns. On your Wednesday nights, though, stick with us, Full Scale Sports Radio, from 7 to 10 p.m., only on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
Here at the Pro Wrestling Experience, I, Josh Lopez, give you the best wrestling coverage you can't find anywhere else. I'm the best in the world at what I do. I'll bring you some of the biggest names inside and outside the professional wrestling world and educate you in everything in the world of professional wrestling, from WWE, TNA, Ring of Honor Wrestling, and much more. Make sure to check out the show with the student of the game, Josh Lopez, every Wednesdays, 10 to 1, ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
Here's what you missed last time on Educated Insanity.
Believe this. You're not going to believe this. Yo, I shot myself. Where'd you shoot yourself? Dog, you're not going to believe this. You just...
Hey, bruh. Hey, bruh. Do you see my pants? It is red around here, okay? I need your help. I'm shivering and I'm about to
It's Educated Insanity Wednesdays, 5 to 7, right here, ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
Hello, this is Richard Glenn, and you may know me as the host of The Rich and Rick Show. But I'm not here to talk about that today. What I'm here to talk about is a brand new show I'll be hosting with Chicago White Sox Grabs and Bench's own Jack Sheehan. Oh, well, we do not have any clips of Jack or anything, but just for the record, I like to say that I've known Jack for a long time, and I think he stinks, and I do not like him. The Jack and Rich Show, 6 to 8 on Thursdays on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
You're listening to ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. It's not just sports, it's a way of life.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Sam and Joe Show here on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. I am your host, Sam Piovo, with Joe Cerna, co-host and producer. And before the break, we were getting into a bit of a little argument there about Jay Cutler being an elite quarterback. Maybe you'd like to chime in on that. Is Jay Cutler an elite quarterback? Give us a call right now. Our line is open, 312-564-7375. That number is 312-564-7375. So, Joe.
Yes?
Shall we get back into it?
Okay.
All right. So, we're naming elite quarterbacks here, and I say Jay Cutler is not an elite quarterback, not by a long shot. You do, and that's completely fine. But when I think of an elite quarterback, here's what I think of. Okay? Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Russell Wilson. I think you can call him elite now. And Drew Brees.
Andrew Luck.
Andrew Luck is getting there, yeah. So what makes you put Jay Cutler into their category?
I don't think he's currently up for that title. But I think he's already proved himself to be an elite quarterback, that he has the skill set. He's just falling back.
Elite quarterbacks don't fall back, Joe.
And he's on his way to not be an elite quarterback, but he still is.
In what way, though? Yeah, he's good. Yeah, I'm not going to argue that he's good. I think, well, obviously this year he hasn't been good. I think he has the ability to be good, but, you know, there's a difference between good and elite. And he is not elite. To me, anyway. And it's fine if you think differently, but when I think of elite, I think of the guys that I just mentioned.
I think of him more as just a piece to a puzzle.
And exactly. I agree. A piece to a puzzle that's never going to get finished.
And I think of him more than that. I feel like they call him elite quarterback because they know him off the field. Because we don't know him off the field. We don't know what he does to the team to even make them worse or better. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
So and there's probably more factors to him than just what we see.
And there's been some controversy about that this week as well. You know, quarterback's usually the leader of a football team.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of people saying Jay Cutler is not that leader in the locker room. Brian Urlacher, of course, he commented on this yesterday on the Cap and Haw show. He says, Jay Cutler is nowhere near an elite quarterback. He says he has all the tools, but he's not utilizing them. And you know how long we've been saying that as Bears fans?
Long time.
Exactly. So what gives you the idea, Joe, that Jay Cutler is an elite quarterback?
Because he can.
He can be. No, without a doubt he can be. But he's not going to be.
And I think that's what makes him an elite quarterback. His possibilities. Not his actions, but his possibilities.
Joe,
I'm just supporting what they're saying as an elite quarterback.
He's had possibilities that you say since 2007. If they were gonna surface by now, they would have by now.
And that's what I'm saying. He has possibilities,
but it's not going to happen.
He's
not elite.
He's not doing it.
No, he's not. And another question for you. I mentioned Jay Cutler's not being thought of as a leader. Does he need to be that leader? In an offense, or a team, rather, does Jay Cutler need to be the leader?
In a way, yeah.
Why is that?
Because he's the one that's seeing the most. He's the one that needs to pay attention the most. And he's the one that needs to get everybody together and be like, hey, work with me out here. It can't be just me out on this field. Like, yeah, you're putting your hands up, but I'm not going to make it 100%. So he needs to give them that edge, give them encouragement, because they're going into these games without confidence.
Yeah, they are.
And he needs to be the one to give them that
he needs to be the one, yeah. And right now, it seems like Brandon Marshall is that guy. And that shouldn't be.
Without a doubt.
And that shouldn't be. I mean, it's great. It's great. The more leadership, the better. But if it takes a wide receiver to call out his entire offense, to say, hey, this is completely unacceptable for this type of offense, because it is. He's absolutely right. Nothing Brandon Marshall said is incorrect.
No.
But the thing is, it shouldn't have to be said from him. Jay Cutler needs to wake up. He needs to give a you-know-what for once, and he needs to step up to this team and say, hey, we have to do better, and I'm going to lead us there.
And take responsibility.
Absolutely.
Rather than saying it's a team, notice your own mistakes, buddy. You know?
And to some point, I mean, you got to hope that at some point he will, but, you know, it's been so long that I don't think it'll ever happen.
Yeah.
And it's kind of sad to see that.
Yeah, just 7 more years.
No, that's not going to happen. Once he gets his guaranteed money, and if he still hasn't produced any, not Super Bowls, but playoff wins at least, by then he's gone, without a doubt.
Yeah.
And here's a little thing I like to call a hypothetical. If the Bears, got rid of Jay Cutler, who would you want as your starting quarterback?
Out of any team? If I can grab out of any team?
Yes, sir. For the Chicago Bears, who would you have your quarterback as?
As an amazing offense like that?
Yep, same pieces, just different quarterback.
Wow. I mean, no brainer.
No brainer, huh?
I'd give it to... No. I want to say Peyton Manning. Because that would be amazing.
It would be pretty amazing. See Peyton Manning on the Chicago Bears. That'd be awesome.
But I feel as if it'd be nice to see an Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, yeah.
Tom Brady.
I would never pick Tom Brady or Peyton Manning.
It's because you don't like Tom Brady.
No, that's not at all why. If Peyton Manning, if Tom Brady is 26 years old again, give him to me right now. I'll take him right off your hands, no problem. Tom Brady's getting old.
Yeah.
And so is Peyton Manning, and they're going to be around 2 more years at the most.
Yeah. Maybe I can see Peyton Manning but Tom Brady, I think he's going to be in there longer to see his career crumble.
Was he going to be the next Brett Favre?
Yeah.
Except Brett Favre was still good when he retired.
Tom Brady's just going to be mediocre when he leaves. He's not going to be that elite quarterback that we were used to seeing.
I'd love to see that. Just to rub it in those Tom Brady lovers' faces.
Yeah.
You know who I would go with, though? You said Rodgers as an option.
Yeah.
I would start my team with none other than Andrew Luck.
You think so?
Andrew Luck is so phenomenal. I love his game.
I think he has a different feel, though. Like, I think those are 2 different offenses.
What do you mean? Oh, yeah, without a doubt. But who's to say, Jay Cutler runs. He can run every now and then. And when Andrew Luck needs to run, he'll run. He loves to run.
And
so what's the difference here?
All right, this is how I see it. The Bears, you can say they're like an old-fashioned team. They want a somewhat big quarterback that can take a hit, that's just going to drop...
Pocket passer.
Yeah, drop back, throw a nice pass. And Andrew Luck, he's part of this new generation coming of football players that like to run the ball and are just as active as a fullback.
But here's the thing with Andrew Luck. This is why I like him so much. He can throw you that deep ball just like a Peyton Manning, a Tom Brady, a Jay Cutler who throws a great deep ball. that's why I love Andrew Luck. He can do it all. He is the ultimate athlete, and right now the way he's playing, I wouldn't start my team with anybody else.
And to be like a playoff contender, whatever, just to see, I wouldn't even mind seeing Colin Kaepernick as a Bear. That would be interesting.
Absolutely not. Absolutely. But Colin Kaepernick, he's had some problems. He's not the same type of quarterback that he was when he first started. With that being said, we're going to take a quick time out here on the Sam and Joe Show. We'll have a sports update, then we'll get back into some Bears football, along with our NFL picks of the week and keys to a Bears victory. It's all coming up next. Stay tuned. You're listening to the Sam and Joe Show on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
You're listening to ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. It's not just sports, it's a way of life.
Chicagoland Sports Radio Sports Update.
At 2:30 p.m., I'm Sam Piopo here with your ChicagolandSportsRadio.com sports update, brought to you by the Illinois Center for Broadcasting. Your Chicago Bears are getting set to play the New England Patriots and Tom Brady on Sunday at noon, by the way. Jay Cutler and the offense look to get their game back on track this week after a lackluster game against the Dolphins. Few injuries today in practice. Martellus Bennett did not participate because of a hamstring injury. Linebacker Lance Briggs was limited in practice. Chris Conti was a full participation in practice, and he looks to play on Sunday. Meanwhile, the Blackhawks are off to a quick start on the season as they are 4-0-1 to start the season. Corey Crawford, however, will not travel with the team for today's game in Nashville, nor the game in St. Louis on Saturday because of an upper body injury. They hope to have him back for Sunday's game against the Senators. Blackhawks take on the Nashville Predators tonight at 7 as Antti Ranta will start in place of the injured Crawford. The Bulls play their final preseason game tonight against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Jimmy Butler might not be ready for the season opener against the Knicks because of a finger injury. Also, Joakim Noah looks to be ready after having an arthroscopic knee surgery in the offseason. In World Series news, the Kansas City Royals beat the San Francisco Giants 7-2 in Game 2 last night behind some clutch hitting from Billy Butler and Salvador Perez. The series now shifts to San Francisco for Game 3, which will be held tomorrow. This has been your ChicagolandSportsRadio.com sports update, brought to you by the Illinois Center for Broadcasting. For more information, head to BeOnAir.com. I'm Sam Piopo, and now back to the Sam and Joe Show. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Sam and Joe Show here on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. Your host here, Sam Piopo, alongside co-host and producer Joe Cerna. And before the break, we were, of course, getting in more in depth with the Bears offense and leadership roles and all that jazz. But now we're going to shift a little bit to the defense of the Bears and how mediocre it was last week. After a great performance against the Falcons, they go back to a terrible performance against the Dolphins. Joe, the Bears gave up 393 yards total against the Dolphins offense. What's wrong with this defense?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Was it a fluke, the game against the Falcons?
No. I call that gearing down or bearing down. They
like
definitely
that.
bared down.
Like that little analogy there.
I don't know. I think they finally got their heads together and then did something and did completely threw them off. It's the only thing I can think of.
You know what? I really think that game against the Falcons was just a fluke. Because you know the Falcons don't run the ball very well. They're going to pass. So the Bears made them pass So the Bears knew what was coming. And any team that knows what's coming, they're going to be able to stop it. But the way the Dolphins, the way the Dolphins have their offense set up, they have the read option, which means who knows is getting the ball.
Yeah, and they picked apart that defense.
Oh, yeah. Ryan Tannehill, Lamar Miller. Who's going to carry the ball? Or heck, are they going to hold on to the ball with a play action and just throw it deep? I love that offense. I don't know. We're gonna get more in depth to this right after our third time out here on the Sam and Joe Show. Make sure to stay tuned. We're gonna get a little more in depth, and then we'll give you our locks of the week and along with our picks of the week. Stay tuned. You're listening to the Sam and Joe Show on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
You're listening to ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. It's not just sports; it's a way of life.
What's up, Chicago? I'm Sam Piobo.
And I'm Joe Serna.
Do you feel updated on all current sports news?
If not, make sure to catch the Sam and Joe Show every Thursday afternoon from 2 to 4 p.m.
Every week, we will have our NFL picks of the week.
Also, we have the best coverage on the latest news on the MLB playoffs.
Not to mention hockey and basketball season are back.
So make sure to tune in to the Sam and Joe Show every Thursday afternoon from 2 to 4 p.m. on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
And download the iTunes app, keyword Chicagoland Sports Radio.
We're covering all of today's hot topics in the sports world and want you to voice your opinion. So give us a call at 312-564-7375. You can follow me on Twitter at Shep306.
And follow me at _G Avila.
Again, Game Time with Gio and Tom. Thanks for listening.
That's right. The show goes on every Monday from 2 to 4, only on Chicagoland Sports Radio. Here, two familiar voices is Clinton Cole, CC, and Steve Suff, formerly of our sister station, Sportstown Chicago, gear you up for the Bears in the NFL season, college football, MLB playoffs, Blackhawks hockey, and a whole lot more. Who knows what's going to ensue? One thing's for certain, you're going to want to clear your schedule on Mondays from 2 to 4 to listen to CC and Steve Suff on the show, only on Chicagoland Sports Radio.
Nace en el año 2011.
Let's go.
Acción Deportiva. En el año 2012.
We have the Natal Cups of soccer. I'm one of the few that like both of them, but Manchester United.
Whoa! En el año 2013 se hace mejor.
Fiera Deportiva.
Like to give Chicago Fire, let's give a shout out to La Fiera. Un saludo de Pavel Pardo. Mandarles un saludo a toda la audiencia.
La Fiera Deportiva.
They are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
Another group that Dennis Green will no longer let off the hook are the sports guys in the Chi. Join Brian Loveless, Kerry Bryn, Ryan Cederstrom, and Steve Heskey every Wednesday from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
You believe in miracles? Yes!
Some of our thoughts are
Just a bit outside.
But don't worry, you can still have a good time with us every Wednesday from 2 to 4. Come join us, only on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
This is the one and only El Cedro from Those Sports Guys in the Chi, and you can listen to my show, The Cedro Sports Show, on Mondays from 4 to 6 on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. We'll be breaking down every NFL storyline from Sunday, all the fantasy studs and duds, with live Monday Night Football previews and all the instant reactions for what's going on with your Chicago Bears. Listen live and call in with your opinions, and who knows, maybe I'll have some of those sports guys in the Chi drop by. That's Cedro Sports Show every Monday from 4 to 6 on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
They're on grass outside.
Grass outside, Al. There's grass outside. That's right.
I'm going San Francisco on that other one.
Oh, you want to switch your pick?
You don't switch your rules. Doesn't sit well with me. And I don't want to sit here. I don't want to sit here tomorrow and be pissed at myself. Like, you know, you should have switched.
Davis pulled the D.
I sure did. No, I did not pull a D. I pulled a bit.
This is D of D and Davis Show. Check us out every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. right here on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
The month of September means exciting pennant races and new hope with the return of the NFL. While Chicago may be lacking in pennant races for 2014, Bears fans have plenty to be excited about entering the season. Spraying to All Fields is making the necessary adjustments, switching focus to all things Bears. I'll provide detailed coverage beginning Week 1, hosting the Bills, through Week 17 in Minneapolis, and hopefully deep into the playoffs. So join me, Jason Kessner, Saturdays 2 to 4 p.m. for Spraying to All Fields, only on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
You're listening to ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. It's not just sports, it's a way of life.
Welcome back, folks, to ChicagolandSportsRadio.com's Sam and Joe Show. Before the break, we were still talking our beloved Bears. Unfortunately, obviously they're 3-4. And Joe, I got a question for you here.
Shoot.
I will shoot. Can Mark Trestman, has Mark Trestman lost control of his team? Obviously, all this coming from the post-game locker room issues that happened after the game last Sunday. Yelling was heard in the locker room after the game. Players were separated. Reports were that Marshall was yelling at Cutler. You know, what are your thoughts on that whole locker room escapade first?
I think he just lost control of a situation rather than a team.
Trestman?
Yeah. I don't think this was all him. You know.
Oh no.
I'm talking about losing control or anything like that. It was just a situation bound to happen, and it happened because, you know, it's a loss of the game that shouldn't have been lost, and you can blame majority of it on Cutler and Brandon Marshall being somewhat of a hothead and
competitive. That's what I'd call him.
Competitive, and then it's just blown gasket, frustration, and just
right. You know, that's all I really think it is. I think it's just pure frustration. I don't think I really, once it first happened, I really thought nothing of it. I mean, these guys are angry. I mean, 3-4, Brandon Marshall said it about 30 times during that post-game interview. It's unacceptable. It really is. And for a team to be 3-4 like the Bears are, well, they shouldn't be, obviously, there will be frustration in there. And that frustration is going to stem from the quarterback position all the way down to special teamers. You know, Brandon Marshall's a competitive guy, I think, and he doesn't like to lose. And you know, he really just doesn't like to lose, and he will not sit there and be on a losing team without, you know, consulting anybody about it.
Yeah.
But that goes back earlier to saying Jay Cutler should be the one getting up in everybody's faces and saying, "Hey, we gotta get the show on the road here with it, huh?"
Right.
So you don't think Mark Trestman lost control of the locker room, huh?
No.
I think he's lost kind of control of that team, honestly.
Really?
You know, Brian Urlacher said it once again yesterday. He was being interviewed. He said Lovie Smith would never have let that happen. That whole post-game escapade, that wouldn't have happened under Lovie Smith. Do you agree with that?
I completely disagree.
Really? Why is that?
Such example, Cutler getting into an argument on the field with Jamarcus Webb.
Yeah.
That happened under Lovie Smith, so it's baloney.
Okay, but no, we're talking about the game carrying over into the locker room.
Well, we don't know what happened. I mean, no, I could see it happening. It just didn't happen. I think it would have.
So you think it was just a coincidence that it didn't happen?
Yeah, I think Brian Urlacher just has a lot to say. I personally think he has hard feelings.
Oh, he does. He's butthurt.
Yeah,
he really is. He's one of the most butthurt players I've ever seen. But he does make a great point. I mean, it never did happen under Lovie Smith. You never saw these guys calling each other out in the locker room, supposedly calling each other out in the locker room. Nothing was ever proven, and nobody ever admitted to it. But, you know, the screaming and shouting and players being separated, that's all fact. So, is Mark Trestman to blame for this?
I don't think so.
Why not?
Like I said, it's football players. Aggression, frustration, and you took a loss. So
a bad loss at that.
You're going to be mad, and you're going to want to express it somehow. And what's a better way to express it than the person who caused it? So
that's true. Well, I got another question for you, and I got a question for you who's listening out there. First, I'll get to the listeners, actually. Who would you rather have right now as head coach of the Bears? Mark Trestman or Lovie Smith? We want to hear your opinion right now. Give us a call. Our phone line's open. 312-564-7375. Which coach would you rather have right now if you're a Bears fan? And I know all of you are. 312-564-7375. Give us a call. Joe.
Yes?
Answer me that one.
Same question?
Trestman or Lovie Smith right now?
As of right now, Lovie Smith.
Really?
There was more than 2 times where he was a close contender as a coach into being into the playoffs.
Yeah.
And going pretty close to the, if I'm not mistaken, 2006.
Yeah. I mean,
went to
Super
the
Bowl. Yeah.
Just didn't win it.
Not even close.
And Trestman, we don't know yet. We really don't know yet.
So now, so people criticize the coaching style of Lovie Smith, saying he's too soft on his players, but it really doesn't look like Mark Trestman is too hard on his players either. Both of these guys are players coaches.
Yeah.
They love their players, and they don't get under the skin of the players enough, in my opinion. Do you think it's important to have that fiery coach, who will
definitely
point out the obvious that needs to be pointed out to correct it?
Definitely. And I think Lovie Smith's he's not player hard, he's team hard. And what I mean by that is he's strict on the team. I don't think he points out certain players. I think he's just more of everybody needs this to do this, blah, 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 blah. Because that's how he was when he first came to the team. He was very strict on everybody. And I don't know. I think he just needs to favor more players.
Okay, so what about Trestman? Is he the same way?
No, that's what I'm talking about. Trestman was.
Oh, you said Smith.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Trestman is the team guy. Okay.
Yeah.
So what about Lovie then?
Lovie Smith, he was more defensive.
Oh, without a doubt.
And then again, Mark Trestman's more offensive. Like I said, we need one big super coach. Has a great mustache.
You know who that coach is?
Da coach.
But obviously, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
As much as we would love for it to happen.
Well, we just need something that can come even close to it.
Just give me a guy who will yell. I want to see some emotion on that sideline. I don't want to see a coach that sits on the sideline and, acts like he doesn't care if the team loses.
Mark Trestman looks bitter. And Lovie Smith used to just get this, just aggravated and just be like, whatever, I'm done.
The look on his face. I mean, I want somebody who will get on their face and correct it. Besides,
like a hardball.
Instead of a guy who's gonna stick up for his players, I want a guy who will call out that player if need be.
Yeah.
And Trestman and Lovie Smith are not.
Nope.
The last coach we've seen that was somewhat fiery is Dave Weinstead.
Yeah.
Obviously, it didn't turn out good for him. He was not good either. But since Dave Weinstead, we've had 3 coaches. One, Dick Duran. Good coach. He had the right mindset, but never had the fiery or strictness, I guess you could say, to be that head coach type guy.
Uh-huh.
Next, Lovie Smith. Same thing. Great defensive coach. Just not the type of guy to win a Super Bowl. And then you have Mark Trestman. Mark Trestman is a great offensive type coach, but he doesn't really show me the winning way that you really would want to see from a Super Bowl winning head coach rather. And here's what I have to say. Mark Trestman, Lovie Smith, Dick Duran, they would never win a Super Bowl. All right?
Hello?
Hello?
Hey, we have a caller.
Hello.
How you doing, guys?
How are you?
I'm doing just peachy today. I'm sitting here listening to your guys' show.
Yeah, what's
Great
your name,
show,
man?
by the way.
Thank you. What's your name?
You're welcome. Now to chime in on this head coach thing real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Touch base on that. I feel Trestman, keep Trestman. Lovey had his time. He made it to one Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he more or less was like a flash in the pan. Bye-bye. Give Trestman a chance. It's only his, second year?
That's right.
Okay. Give him a chance. He's been here before. It's not like he's never been in the NFL. He's been in the NFL before. He's got to get his feet wet again, let's say, per se. And, just to touch base with Cutler, too, real quick. Okay?
Yeah, sure.
Cutler is not the piece for the Bears.
I agree 100%.
Okay? Let me tell you something. Let me tell you why. Look at Eli Manning. Gave him a great defense, a great offense. He won 2 Super Bowls. Without that, look what he's doing now.
That's true. I mean,
and I put Cutler and Eli Manning in the same thing. If you put Cutler in the predicament, you give him a good defense, and the offense he's got now, I'm sure he can come close to winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah, at least get there, right? I mean, how can you not succeed with all that talent?
That's just it. We don't have a dominant defense like the Giants had back then.
Right.
To win those Super Bowls.
Do you think that Trestman can improve that defense?
Yeah, without Mel Tucker.
That's what I like to hear. Yeah, I don't really. I'm not a big fan of Mel Tucker ourselves over here.
No, me either. I mean, to me, he probably knows his stuff, but I don't know. I just, for some reason, I don't think he's. There's one thing to coach, and I don't think he can coach.
No, I mean he
might
came from
have the
Jacksonville,
knowledge, but I don't think he can give it to the guys and teaching them how to do stuff. Mentoring or whatever he has to do, because he does have a lot of young guys.
right?
But to me, I don't think he can do it.
All right. Well, thanks for the call. We appreciate it. Keep listening, huh?
Oh, no problem. You guys have a good show and a good day.
All right. Take care, man.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Thanks for that caller. That was a great call. Joe, what's your opinion on that caller?
Made a lot of great points and made a lot of sense. I don't know. I just can't. Me personally, I can't compare Jay Cutler and Eli Manning because I feel like Eli Manning is way better.
Oh, I mean, yeah. I mean, he has the stats to show it.
Yeah.
Plus, he has the rings. I mean, how can you not argue with those?
So going back to what we were currently saying, yeah, we need one super coach. Mel Tucker needs to go.
Mel Tucker needs to go. That was the best point he made. That was great.
They need to be looking for somebody, man.
I know. Do you think they're going to fire him after the season?
If they don't, it's because they don't have a plan
replacement.
B.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, depending on, there's always going to be coaches who are going to get fired at the end of the season. It's always going to depend on who's out there, really, for the Bears.
Yeah.
And usually when the Bears need a coach, there's really nobody available.
Yeah.
I don't know. He made a great point on Mark Trestman. Without Mel Tucker, although he said without Mel Tucker he can improve the defense, I really don't think he can. Right now, I don't think he can.
And like I said, I think Mark Trestman can put him at a mediocre position.
Yeah, they're not even mediocre right now.
Yeah. And I feel like Mark Trestman can do that. You know what? I just thought about it. You know what makes Mark Trestman?
What's that?
He came from the CFL. They're really nice up there.
They are.
They're not as aggressive. So I think Mark Trestman needs to light a fire up under his bum.
You calling out my CFL over here?
So if he does that, I feel like with more aggression and less feeling, more passion, He'll get it done.
The next duck coach over here. All right. Well, we're going to take a quick timeout here on the Sam and Joe Show. Coming up next, we'll have a sports update, and then we are going to get into our NFL picks of the week along with our lock of the week. Make sure to stay tuned. You're listening to the Sam and Joe Show on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
To ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. It's not just sports, it's a way of life.
You love sports, you have passion, but you need skills to work in sports broadcasting. It's Herb Lawrence of 670 The Score. Get those skills at the Illinois Center for Broadcasting, just like I did. Check out their campus in Lombard with amazing equipment and staff. Get a jump on the competition with hands-on training in radio and TV. With internships, flexible classes, affordable tuition, and job placement, you could start a new career at the Illinois Center for Broadcasting in Lombard. Enrolling now for upcoming classes. Go to beonair.com.
This isn't just an MMA news show. It's an MMA fan interactive experience show. I am going to share my predictions for every weekend's fights for UFC, Bellator, and World Series of Fighting. Don't agree? You can give me yours on @FightLead on Twitter. National MMA fighters and personalities will be on the Fight Lead Report, and you'll be able to post them any questions at FightLead on Twitter. Also, breaking MMA news and more at the Fight Lead Report on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com every Tuesday at 12 p.m.
This is Chuck Harris and John Presnowski here from Chuck and Prez. We want to let you guys know to tune in every Wednesday, 4 to 5 p.m. for the Football Focus.
Your number one stop for all Chicago Bears coverage.
That's right, Chuck. We're also going to be taking a look at a handful of games from the NFL, giving you the latest scoop from across the league.
This is your only destination if you truly call yourself a football fan. So what are you waiting for?
Check us out, guys. The Football Focus every Wednesday, 4 to 5 p.m. only on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
Football is back, and Rich and Rick gets to talk about the biggest matchups and the Bears.
I really think this Bears offense this year can explode and really do some damage.
You got to be at San Francisco. They got to go against the Panthers that won the division last year. Falcons, and if they have a healthy Julio Jones coming back, that's going to be trouble.
The Rich and Rick Show, hosted by me, Richard Glenn, alongside Cedric Farrell, on Fridays from 4 to 6 p.m. on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
What's up? It's Jonathan Hood from Chicago's Game Night. Not many people can say that they love their career, but I certainly do. The Illinois Center for Broadcasting in Lombard can help you find the career that you love. I also teach at ICB because I like helping the next generation of broadcasters discover their passion. How do you discover yours? Well, ICB is enrolling students for day and evening classes right now. Learn how to be a sports talk show host, a producer, do play-by-play, and shoot and edit video. Get hands-on training on air and behind the scenes. You'll have a chance to get internships at radio or TV stations where you can tap into the knowledge of industry pros. With job placement assistance, you can start your career in 1 year. They have affordable tuition and financial aid for those who qualify. So why waste another minute in a career that you don't love? Go to beonair.com/Chicago Sports and see what the Illinois Center for Broadcasting has to offer. Go to the website right now, beonair.com/Chicago Sports.
Here at the Pro Wrestling Experience, I, Josh Lobus, give you the best wrestling coverage you can't find anywhere else. I'm the best in the world at what I do. I'll bring you some of the biggest names inside and outside the professional wrestling world and educate you in everything in the world of professional wrestling, from WWE, TNA, Ring of Honor Wrestling, and much more. Make sure to check out the show with the student of the game, Josh Lopez, every Wednesdays, 10 to 1, ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
You're listening to ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. It's not just sports, it's a way of life.
Chicagoland Sports Radio Sports Update.
At 3 p.m., I'm Sam Piopo here with your ChicagolandSportsRadio.com sports update, brought to you by the Illinois Center for Broadcasting. Your Chicago Bears are getting set to play the New England Patriots on Sunday at noon. Jay Cutler and the offense look to get their game back on track this week after a lackluster game against the Dolphins. That goes for the defense as well. Lance Briggs was limited in practice today because of his ribs injury. Also, Martellus Bennett did not practice. Chris Conti, however, was a full participant in practice and looks to play on Sunday. Meanwhile, the Blackhawks are off to a quick start on the season as they are 4-0-1 to start the season. Corey Crawford, however, will not travel with the team for today's game in Nashville nor the game in St. Louis on Saturday because of an upper body injury. They hope to have him back for Sunday's home game against the Ottawa Senators. The Blackhawks take on the Nashville Predators tonight at 7 as Antti Ranta will start in net in place of the injured Corey Crawford. The Bulls will play their final preseason game tonight against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Jimmy Butler might not be ready for the season opener against the Knicks because of a finger injury. Also, Joakim Noah looks to be ready for the season after having arthroscopic knee surgery in the offseason. In World Series news, the Kansas City Royals beat up on the San Francisco Giants 7-2 in Game 2 last night behind some clutch hitting from Billy Butler and Salvador Perez. The series will now shift over to San Francisco for Game 3, which will be held tomorrow. This has been your ChicagolandSportsRadio.com sports update brought to you by the Illinois Center for Broadcasting. For more information, log on to beonair.com. I'm Sam Piopo, and now back to the Sam and Joe Show. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Sam and Joe Show on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. I'm your host, Sam Piopo, alongside Joe Cerna, that co-host and producer that everybody loves.
Yay!
Yay! And before the break, we kind of went fully into Bears there. We got a little upset with each other at some points. Had a great call, but now it's on to our NFL picks of the week. But not before our Bears' keys to a victory on Sunday against the New England Patriots. Joe, how would you like to start us off with your first key to a Bears victory on Sunday?
Are we doing first key most important or third key most important? Because all three of them are important.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
All right, I'm going to go first key. Very important. Defense. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. Play like you played Atlanta.
Play like you played Atlanta, which is?
Fierce. Educated. Yeah, that's it.
I like it. Yeah.
Fierce and educated.
And if you'd like to give us your Bears to a keys victory, Bears keys to a victory on Sunday, our phone lines are open to you. Give us a call right now, 312-564-7375. What are your keys to a Bears victory? 312-564-7375. So my first key right now is quite simple, actually. Linebackers. Cover your tight ends and make tackles when you're needed. You know, not even all that, just linebackers in general. No, see, against the Falcons, we had 3 backup linebackers start, and they played phenomenal.
Okay.
They played great. But you get Shea McClellan back, who looked completely out of sort last week.
Yeah.
You get John Bostic, and it just wasn't, it wasn't good. It wasn't like how it was against the Falcons. I think it's because of the unexpected nature to play that the linebackers had 2 weeks ago against the Falcons. They were ready, man. They were waiting for their opportunity and they took it. So why would you bench them, you may ask? Well, that's a question to be answered by the Bears. But yeah, not to go off on a rant there. Just these linebackers, make the necessary plays that you need to make, all right? Give us your second key.
My second key would have to be Jay Cutler.
Oh, yeah, that should be everybody's key.
Yeah, I'm going to go back to him being risky. It's okay to be risky, but be risky and aware. Know your capabilities and express them with good passes, not with, I think I got this. Shoom! Interception.
Right.
So, Jay Cutler, gear down. Well, wait.
Bear down. Yeah. I'm gonna stay in that range, but it's not gonna be completely, Jay Cutler. Here's what I have to say. Communication is a key to every offensive success, and that's what I believe the Bears lack. Miscommunications happen, obviously, to everybody, but it seems to happen to Jay Cutler and his receivers a lot, and it's even starting to happen to Jay Cutler and Brandon Marshall, which we never thought we'd see.
Yeah, those were like a duo of the century.
Yeah, and those lead to interceptions. So here's what I got to say. Stay communicated. Make sure you know the play. And if you don't, I mean, ask the guy next to you. Because more than likely he's going to know it. That is my second key.
All right, my third key is sort of like yours. Mine's going to be more, what's the word? Confidence.
Yeah.
Play with confidence. They're going in there, and it's looking muggy, man. And I don't like to see that. Only as a fan, I want to see them go out there and feel like they can take a win.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's very important. If you dress for success, you're gonna succeed.
Gotcha. My final key to a Bears victory is, it's simple as this: leadership. Somebody, it doesn't even have to be Jay Cutler. I don't care. Somebody take a responsibility for this team's, demise right now. Really, somebody take responsibility. Somebody get in there and get in everybody's face and just lead the way. Because that's what the Bears need right now. They need a leader. And if they get a leader, who knows what they can do. That's my final key. Hope you guys enjoyed our keys. If you'd like to give us your keys, once again, 312-564-7375. Our line is available to you. All right. What do you say we get our NFL Picks of the Week started?
I'm down.
Our favorite segment of every week. We're going to get started right now.
All right. First game tonight. San Diego at Denver. Wow. You know what? I see Denver winning, definitely.
San Diego, Denver. I don't think it's that easy. I think San Diego, obviously they played great. I think they have a chance. Wait, is it in Denver?
Yeah.
Oh, that's tough then. Yeah, I'll take Denver in a really close one.
I don't think it's going to be that close. Although San Diego's been doing good, Denver's just doing better. Yeah, it's overwhelming.
All right.
Leading into the first game of Sunday, Detroit at Atlanta.
Yeah. I mean, Atlanta's not very good, obviously, since the Bears beat them. But Detroit, they've been showing some signs of weakness. I mean, they're still atop the division, but the question every year for the Detroit Lions is, when are they going to fall off? Because they always do.
Yeah.
Are they going to fall off again this year? Who knows?
Most likely.
But right now, I'm taking the Lions.
You're going to take the Lions?
Absolutely.
I like that. I'm going to go Lions, too.
Yeah. All right.
St. Louis at Kansas City.
St. Louis, Kansas City. St. Louis coming off a huge win. Yeah. I don't trust them for a minute.
We'll stick to Kansas City when it comes to baseball.
Oh yeah, we'll get into that just a little bit. I got Kansas City.
Do you?
Yeah, I don't believe in the Rams.
They're pretty intense now.
Yeah, they are. Don't get me wrong.
I'm gonna go St. Louis.
All right, I like that pick. I mean, you can't go wrong after a win they had last week.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Houston at Tennessee.
Houston, Tennessee. Give me Houston. Ryan Fitzpatrick over
J.J. Watt.
Yeah, I mean,
he's dangerous, man.
How wouldn't it be great to have him on the Bears? That'd be phenomenal.
It wouldn't.
What?
He'd get sick of it because he'd be the only one doing anything.
Well, he's the only one. Wow, come on. You know how long he's been on the Texans? I mean,
yeah,
he's been the only one on that defensive line.
Yeah, yeah.
So
that would be great.
Who do you got?
I
got Houston.
Texans. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Minnesota at Tampa Bay.
That's not a good game at all. But it's usually the good game or the bad games that wind up giving us the best action.
Yeah.
Who's at home?
Tampa Bay.
Give me Tampa Bay at home.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, Minnesota. Yeah, Minnesota has been terrible lately.
So is the Bucks.
All right.
Either way, you'll lose. You don't win even if you get it right.
So yeah, I'm definitely not going with them. I'm gonna go with I almost said Minnesota, even though I just said no. I'm going with Tampa Bay, most definitely.
All right.
Next one's Seattle at Carolina.
Nah.
No? You don't think so?
Carolina's not very good anymore. But hey, neither the Seahawks. I mean, what? They're 3-3 now. The Bears are just behind them, and anytime the Bears are in the same category as the Seahawks, I mean, the Seahawks can't be very good because the Bears aren't going to be good. Who's at home? Seattle?
Wait, yeah. No.
Carolina at home?
Carolina's at home, yeah.
Maybe. You know what? Give me Carolina in an upset. They've been trash, completely trash lately.
It's not an upset.
It is an upset.
Because they both are having their ups and downs.
Okay, but you're talking about the Super Bowl champions, the Legion of Boom. Anytime anybody beats the Seahawks, it's an upset.
Yeah.
I got Carolina.
I can see that.
Who do you got?
I'm going to go with Seattle.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I hate betting against the Super Bowl champions because whenever I do, I lose.
Yeah.
But I'm going to do it this week and see what happens. Go Panthers.
Baltimore at Cincinnati.
It's a pretty good game, huh? Divisional matchup.
Yeah.
Cincinnati at home. Andy Dalton having a tough time right now with that offense.
Yeah.
You know what? I say Cincinnati gets back on track this week against Baltimore.
I completely agree. I was just about to say the same thing.
I mean, I really do think they're a good team. I don't think they're fake. I don't think they're pretenders. They've had a tough time right now on the offensive side of the ball. Ravens are no joke though either.
Yeah. They both. Whoa. I forgot about the Bengals. They're the only team with a tie.
Yeah. Well, not the only team, obviously.
Well, yeah. Obviously, the other team.
Give me the Bengals in an upset.
Bengals?
Not an upset, but Bengals over the Ravens.
They beat the Ravens the first game.
Yeah, I know. Well, they were undefeated for 4 or 5 weeks start off the season.
Then they lost to New England and blah 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 blah.
So who do you got?
I'm gonna favor Bengals. Like I said, I agreed with you when you first said it.
Right.
Yeah, most definitely.
Cool. Next one.
Because they beat them the first game, they're gonna just carry that over. They obviously know what to do to beat them. They're gonna beat them again. Miami at Jacksonville.
Oh my
Florida game.
Goodness. I'd like to go to that game just for the weather, not the teams or nothing. But Dolphins. I mean, I will never bet on Jacksonville. Although they got their first win of the season, I'm not very proud of them. So, I've got Miami in the Battle of Florida.
Okay, cool.
Here's a question for you. Why does Florida have 3 teams?
And they all suck?
Yeah,
really?
What's up with that?
I don't know.
Why did they deserve 3 teams? That's
Miami's
terrible.
only there because Dan Marino made a name for them.
Yeah. I mean, Miami, they have a good fan base, though.
Yeah.
All right.
In that game, that's a hard one to pick. I'm going Miami because Jacksonville, they got lucky. They needed one win.
Yeah, right.
They couldn't be that terrible. All right, the next game, Chicago at New England.
Oh, a great game to head into before our break. Patriots 5-2, Bears 3-4. Tom Brady 9 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions in the last 3 games. I got the Patriots in a laugher.
In a laugher.
In a laugher. At least 2 touchdowns.
You know what? I'm going to disagree.
Really?
I don't want to, but hey, I think of it like this. I think this whole thing that's going on with the locker room is going to create tension. And I think Jay Cutler's going to try to prove Brandon wrong. And it's just going to be, I think they're going to be an aggressive team. A lot of yelling. Just things like that.
Hope you're right.
Those things that make it intense.
I'm not going to bet with you, but I'm not going to bet against you. I hope you're right.
I hope I'm right, too.
With that being said, we're going to take a quick time out here on the Sam and Joe Show. Coming up next, we're going to finish up our NFL picks of the week, and we're finally going to get into some NHL hockey, along with some MLB playoffs and some Chicago Bulls. Make sure to stay tuned. You're listening to the Sam and Joe Show on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
You're listening to ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. It's not just sports, it's a way of life. Straight talk. Let's have some straight talk. Hey, what's up? It's Jason Cage. So I know semesters have started back in school. If you're sitting on your hands right now, you're like, man, I missed the deadline to get signed up somewhere. It's called the Illinois Center for Broadcasting in Lombard. If you want to do what we do, you want to get backstage to concerts, you want to sit behind a microphone, do your own show, maybe work behind the scenes, meet cool people, get free tickets to pretty much everything you can think of. Get all the fun perks that come along with being in the radio, TV, and sports broadcasting industry. The fast track is the Illinois Center for Broadcasting in Lombard. It's a 1-year course, all hands-on training. Get the leg up on the competition. They're going to get you set up and get you the skills that you'll need to jump right out of the door, right behind a microphone, doing your own show. It's called ICB, the Illinois Center for Broadcasting in Lombard. Get the tour set up. They're enrolling right now. Don't wait. beonair.com/CAGE. Hire me one day.
This month on Two Pad Sack Radio, Duffy, Marcus, and Riccardi will discuss whether it's right for the NHL to create new teams in Las Vegas, Seattle, and Quebec. And when the season does start, the boys at Two Pad Stack Radio will bring you the most comprehensive NHL breakdown of every team, player, goal, save, and hit. ChicagolandSportsRadio.com is also the home of the Northern Illinois University men's D2 hockey team. You can catch every home and away game here on CSR, starting with the home opener on September 19th as the Huskies take on the Missouri State University Ice Bears. During the hockey season, Two Pat Stack Radio will air every Tuesday from 5 to 8 p.m. on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. You can follow us on Facebook, Facebook.com/2PatStackRadio, and on Twitter at mgraz17, at ant_Ricardian91, and at sduffy2011. Two Pat Stack Radio. Hockey lives here.
It's Bears season again, and Game Time is going to cover your Chicago Bears all season long.
We'll go week to week covering the past and upcoming Bears games on Game Time with Gio and Tom. We'll give you our game predictions and break down the stats only on the Bear Claw, a Game Time favorite.
And we want your take on the Bears each week, so give us a call at 312-564-7375. Bear down and go Bears.
Here's what you missed last time on Educated Insanity.
Believe this. You're not going to believe this. Yo, I shot myself. Where'd you shoot yourself? Dog, you're not going to believe this. You just...
Hey, bruh. Hey, bruh, do you see my pants? It is red around here, okay? I need your help. I'm shivering and I'm about to
see, it's Educated Insanity Wednesdays 5 to 7 right here, ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
Tune in Tuesdays from 3 to 5 on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com for the Bickham and Joe Show.
We're talking Bulls,
Did you not get the memo?
Sox,
Mercy,
Cubs, Blackhawks,
the Chicago Blackhawks have won the Stanley Cup,
and the Bears.
For all your sports needs, tune in to me, Tom Bickham,
and me, Joe Bulio,
every Tuesday from 3 to 5
on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
Hello, this is Richard Glenn, and you may know me as the host of The Rich and Rick Show. But I'm not here to talk about that today. What I'm here to talk about is a brand new show I'll be hosting with Chicago White Sox Grab Some Bench's own Jack Sheehan. Oh, well, we do not have any clips of Jack or anything, but just for the record, I like to say that I've known Jack for a long time, and I think he stinks, and I do not like him. The Jack and Rich Show, 6 to 8 on Thursdays on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
You love sports. You have passion, but you need skills to work in sports broadcasting. It's Herb Lawrence of 670 The Score. Get those skills at the Illinois Center for Broadcasting, just like I did. Check out their campus in Lombard with amazing equipment and staff. Get a jump on the competition with hands-on training in radio and TV. With internships, flexible classes, affordable tuition, and job placement, you can start a new career at the Illinois Center for Broadcasting in Lombard. Enrolling now for upcoming classes. Go to beonair.com/SCORE. That's beonair.com/SCORE.
You're listening to ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. It's not just sports, it's a way of life.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Sam and Joe Show on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. Hope you enjoyed that intro as much as we did. That was so awesome. I'm your host, Sam Piobo, alongside co-host and producer Joe Cerna.
Yeah, yep.
It's been a great show so far, and we're going to get right back into our NFL picks of the week before we get into our NHL Blackhawks.
Woo!
Let's do it, Joe. Give us the next game on our schedule.
All right, so we just did Chicago and New England. Okay. Buffalo at New York. Well, Jets. The Jets Stadium.
Give me Buffalo. Jets are nothing anymore.
Completely agree. We don't even have to get into
Let's
that.
do it. Next one.
Philadelphia at Arizona.
That's a great game.
It is a great game. They're
Uh,
both like uprising,
Yeah.
hungry teams.
Nick Foles versus who knows? I mean, who is their quarterback? That's the only problem with the Cardinals. But I love the Cardinals, and I have them at home winning.
Really?
Yeah. You bet.
Okay.
What do you got?
I don't know who to go for that. Because I don't know.
Because you don't know.
Because I don't know. Yeah, that's my answer. No, I'm just kidding.
Next game.
No, I'm gonna go Arizona.
All right.
Arizona, they're a stronger team right now.
Yes, they are.
Oakland at Cleveland.
Worst game of the season. Actually, no. Cleveland's not that bad. Although they did lose to Jacksonville last week.
Yes.
The Raiders are poop. So, I'm just gonna go ahead and say Cleveland.
Yeah, they have been doing better. They've been performing better. Indianapolis at Pittsburgh. I'm taking the Colts all day.
Yeah, absolutely.
No brainer.
Pittsburgh's not even good anymore. No chance.
Sunday Night Football. You have Green Bay at New Orleans.
It used to be a good game when the Saints were actually good.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is gonna comfortable.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I got.
He's gonna be way too comfortable.
I got the Packers. It's actually gonna be a close game though. Packers in a close one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see.
Drew Brees is too good to let him get blown out.
All right, the next one, Washington at Dallas.
Is that the Monday night game?
Yeah, what's up with these Monday night games?
I don't know. They try to do divisional matchups and it's just not working out.
I'm taking Dallas, of course.
Not me.
Really?
Yes, I am.
Oh.
Really, Joe? Colt McCoy is starting for Kirk Cousins.
You really surprised me right
Come
there.
on.
I was like, what?
I mean, I'm probably watch us both be wrong, but I'm not that incapable of making a good pick. I got Dallas easily.
All right, well, there's our picks of the week.
Hope you enjoyed our picks of the week. We'd like to hear yours. Hit us up on Twitter, The Sam and Joe Show, and give us your NFL picks of the week. Or give us a call right now. Our phone line is open, 312-564-7375. The number is 312-564-7375. All right, the moment you've all been waiting for. We are going to go into some Blackhawks hockey.
Yay!
Yay. They play tonight in Nashville at 7 p.m. Antti Ranta will start in place of the injured Corey Crawford. And Pekka Rinne will start for the Nashville Predators. Joe, what are your expectations for this one?
First and foremost, I want to say I was not that hurt by Corey Crawford being hurt.
Well, hold on. Why not?
Well, okay, wait. Let me. That's me rewinding myself.
What the heck?
I am not looking forward to his comeback.
What are you talking about?
Not at all.
Why?
Because I feel like Antti Ranta did a great job replacing him.
Yes, he did.
And
he's still going to replace him.
Corey Crawford has only been good this beginning season. Well, he's been way better than last season. And I feel like him getting hurt is going to set him back in his mind. And that's not something I want to see. I feel like this is going to slow Corey Crawford down again.
You're joking.
Until later on in the season, maybe. But
you're joking.
I mean, they're going to start him.
Oh, absolutely, they're going to start him. They should.
But I think he's going to have a slow start.
And no, not with that defense. I mean, the defense has been playing so good. Even the new guy, Trevor Van Riemsdyk, he's earned a place in that lineup. He's played great.
I'm talking about Corey Crawford.
Okay, but I'm saying the defense will protect him. They're not going to let him have that kind of comeback.
Well, yeah. I see it. I'm scared.
So, okay, here's a question for you. Since obviously, Antti Ranta has played great in in his relief of Corey Crawford. Who would you start, though, if both of them are healthy? Who do you play? Who do you start? Corey Crawford, Antti Ranta.
Corey Crawford.
Okay, I'm just making sure. Because
Did I scare you for a second?
No, honestly, anybody who goes with Antti Ranta, I really don't consider to be smart.
Well, I don't know. It's because our generation of fans nowadays, they're not used to seeing good backups.
Oh, without a doubt.
In general.
But in hockey, you really need a decent backup.
And as soon as they see somebody that's a good backup, they're like, oh, he should be starting.
Exactly.
It's like, no.
Well, no, that's
He's
what's
doing his job as a backup.
Here's the thing. If you think the Blackhawks are going to be able to keep Antti Ranta for a while, it's not going to happen. No. The guy took a pay cut already to stay with the team this year, and teams are going to realize how good he is and why he deserves to start. He'll be gone, I hate to say it, but he might even be gone after the season.
Maybe.
So you got to enjoy it while he's here because, he's a great goaltender, and he can start for any team, really. He really can. But anyway, like I was saying, he gets to start tonight in place of Corey Crawford. What are your expectations for tonight?
Another win.
Yeah, that should be the expectation for every night if you're a Blackhawks fan.
It's not even just because I'm a fan. It's because they're a really good team.
Yeah, they are.
They're a really good team.
Yeah.
It's hard to bet against the Chicago Blackhawks.
Of course. Well, they're 4-0-1. They got a quick start up to the season. How important is it for the Hawks to get that quick start?
I don't think it's important, but it's definitely great to see.
Here's my take on this. Judging from what I seen last year, I think it's so important to start off the season well, just because hockey players mention this little statement, the dog days of the NHL season. December, January, the middle of the season games that really you just don't want to play because, the playoffs are coming around. It's still halfway there, though. So if you win early on, you have a little, I don't want to say room for error.
But you're comfortable with errors.
Right. Like, you can afford to lose a couple of games if you start off the season like the Blackhawks are doing. Obviously, you don't want to make any excuses.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
I see it like this. It's more of a state of mind. Every sport you play is a state of mind. And if you start off with this great intensity, all your players are doing well, you got the bench players doing well, you're going to have a lot of confidence. And it's hard to bring that confidence down, especially with a team and a coach that the Blackhawks have. It is, like I said, it's hard to go against them. Their fan base is nationwide.
Oh, yeah.
It's not even just regional, it's nationwide. The coach really has his mustache on tight.
That was the best statement of the day.
And the team knows what they're doing, and they play as a whole.
They play as a whole mustache? For real, I just lost.
They are a full Manchu.
You just lost complete credibility there. No, but I love it. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But on it, like to get back to seriousness here, I really agree. Everything's set right now for the Blackhawks, and like I said, once those dog days of the NHL season come around, I mean, you still don't want to lose, but you have like a good mindset of where you are. Yeah. So you can afford to lose a couple of those games before the playoffs start. And I don't know. I think it's just great to see the Hawks off to such a great start.
Yeah.
We mentioned earlier Corey Crawford has an upper body injury. He will not travel with the team for Thursday or Saturday, which are the games against the Predators and the Blues. Antti Ranta, though, got a 32-save shutout a couple days back, and we're going to get into that right after our time out here on the Sam and Joe Show. Make sure to stay tuned. We're going to get more in depth with the Blackhawks, and of course, we're not going to miss out on that crazy World Series going on right now. Make sure to stay tuned. You're listening to the Sam and Joe Show on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
You're listening to ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. It's not just sports, it's a way of life.
Chicagoland Sports Radio Sports Update.
At 3:30 p.m., I'm Sam Piopo here with your ChicagolandSportsRadio.com sports update brought to you by the Illinois Center for Broadcasting. Your Chicago Bears are getting set to play the New England Patriots on Sunday at noon. Jay Cutler and that offense, not to mention the defense as well, look to get their games back on track this week after a lackluster effort against the Dolphins. Lance Briggs was a limited participant in practice today because of a rib injury. Meanwhile, Chris Conti fully participated in practice, of course after his concussion. And they look to play against the Patriots on Sunday. We'll see. Meanwhile, the Blackhawks are off to a quick start on the season as they are 4-0-1 to start it off. Corey Crawford, however, goalie for the Hawks, will not travel with the team for today's game in Nashville, nor the game in St. Louis on Saturday because of an upper body injury. They hope to have him back for Sunday's home game against the Ottawa Senators. Blackhawks take on the Nashville Predators tonight at 7 as goaltender Antti Ranta will start in place of the injured Corey Crawford. The Bulls play their final preseason game tonight against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Jimmy Butler might not be ready for the season, however, because he has a finger injury that has set him back. So we'll see if he can be ready for that game against the Knicks coming up on the 29th. Also, Joakim Noah looks to be ready after having an arthroscopic knee surgery in the offseason. In World Series news, the Kansas City Royals beat up on the San Francisco Giants 7-2 in Game 2 last night behind some clutch hitting for Billy Butler and Salvador Perez. The series will now shift to San Francisco for Game 3, which will be played tomorrow. This has been your ChicagolandSportsRadio.com sports update brought to you by the Illinois Center for Broadcasting. For more information, head to beonair.com. I'm Sam Piopo, and now back to the Sam and Joe Show. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Sam and Joe Show on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. I am your host, Sam Piopo, alongside my always wonderful co-host, Joe Cerna. And before the break, we were talking some Chicago Blackhawks, a.k.a. the greatest team in Chicago right now.
Yeah.
Gotta mention that. Big Blackhawks fan over here. And we were talking some goaltending. And I mentioned before the break that Antti Ranta had a 32-save shutout on Tuesday against the Philadelphia Flyers. Obviously, the Flyers aren't that great of a team, but question for you, since he's going to be starting for Corey Crawford today and Saturday, rather. Can Ranta hold the fort down in net?
No doubt about it. With a game like that coming off the bench, it's pretty good. And him getting comfortable, knowing that he's starting is only going to bring up the confidence. And like I said, with that team, their confidence will only lead to more wins.
Here's what I think of Antti Ranta. I think he's so well beyond his years. He's such a young guy, but he plays like a veteran, and not to mention he acts like a veteran who's been in this league for a long time. You know, I mentioned he took a pay cut to stay with the Blackhawks. That's great. You don't see that anymore. He and Ben Smith took 2 pay cuts to stay with the Blackhawks because of what a great organization they are. And, you know, Antti Ranta has to know that he can be a starter anywhere. But he doesn't care. He wants to stay with the Blackhawks because, I mean, I guess he's
smart.
He's comfortable.
Yeah.
And he wants to win that ring with the Blackhawks, I guess. So, Antti Ranta, obviously great luck to him. Hope he does well. We're going to need him to do well. Meanwhile, the Blackhawks called up goaltender Scott Darling from the AHL to back up Antti Ranta because of the Corey Crawford injury. If Corey Crawford is not ready to play on Sunday, goaltender Scott Darling will make his NHL debut. Joe, would you have any confidence in this guy whatsoever?
I don't know. What about you?
No. No.
Yeah,
I say
it's
just
hard
start
to.
Ranta in back-to-back games if necessary. If Crawford's ready, get him in there. But I don't trust Scott Darling. I say just have him there in case Antti Ranta gets injured. Knock on wood. We don't have any wood in here. Dang. No, but good luck to Antti Ranta as he starts tonight against the Nashville Predators. Patrick Kane is off to a fast start. 3 goals, 2 assists. Is it possible for Patrick Kane to win the MVP award?
I think so.
Well, we'll get in more in depth with that in our last time out here on the Sam and Joe Show. Make sure to stay tuned. We're going to get more in depth with the Blackhawks, including our World Series knowledge coming up. I guess you could say knowledge. Make sure to stay tuned to the Sam and Joe Show on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
You're listening to ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. It's not just sports, it's a way of life.
What's up? It's Jonathan Hood from Chicago's Game Night. Not many people can say that they love their career, but I certainly do. The Illinois Center for Broadcasting in Lombard can help you find the career that you love. I also teach at ICB because I like helping the next generation of broadcasters discover their passion. How do you discover yours? Well, ICB is enrolling students for day and evening classes right now. Learn how to be a sports talk show host, a producer, do play-by-play, and shoot and edit video. Get hands-on training on air and behind the scenes. You'll have a chance to get internships at radio or TV stations where you can tap into the knowledge of industry pros. With job placement assistance, you can start your career in 1 year. They have affordable tuition and financial aid for those who qualify. So why waste another minute in a career that you don't love? Go to beonair.com/Chicago Sports and see what the Illinois Center for Broadcasting has to offer. Go to the website right now, beonair.com/Chicago Sports.
What's up, Chicago? I'm Sam Piobo.
And I'm Joe Serna.
Do you feel updated on all current sports news?
If not, make sure to catch the Sam and Joe Show every Thursday afternoon from 2 to 4 p.m.
Every week we will have our NFL Picks of the Week.
Also, we have the best coverage on the latest news on the MLB playoffs.
Not to mention hockey and basketball season are back.
So make sure to tune in to the Sam and Joe Show every Thursday afternoon from 2 to 4 p.m. on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
I'm Giovanni Avila.
And I'm Tom Shepardson.
Check us out on our show, Game Time with Gio and Tom, on Fridays from 2 to 4 p.m. Listen live on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com and download the iTunes app. Keyword Chicagoland Sports Radio.
We're covering all of today's hot topics in the sports world and want you to voice your opinion. So give us a call at 312-564-7375. You can follow me on Twitter at Shep306.
And follow me at _G Avila.
Again, Game Time with Gio and Tom. Thanks for listening.
That's right. The show goes on every Monday from 2 to 4, only on Chicagoland Sports Radio. Here, two familiar voices as Clinton Cole, CC, and Steve Suff, formerly of our sister station, Sportstown Chicago, gear you up for the Bears in the NFL season, college football, MLB playoffs, Blackhawks hockey, and a whole lot more. Who knows what's going to ensue? One thing's for certain, you're going to want to clear your schedule on Mondays from 2 to 4 to listen to CC and Steve Suff on the show, only on Chicagoland Sports Radio.
They are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
Another group that Dennis Green will no longer let off the hook are the Sports Guys in the Shy. Join Brian Loveless, Kerry Bryn, Ryan Cedarstrom, and Steve Heskey every Wednesday from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. Some of our thoughts are
Just a bit outside.
But don't worry, you can still have a good time with us every Wednesday from 2 to 4. Come join us, only on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
This is the one and only El Cedro from Those Sports Guys in the Shy, and you can listen to my show, The Cedro Sports Show, on Mondays from 4 to 6 on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. We'll be breaking down every NFL storyline from Sunday, all the fantasy studs and duds, with live Monday Night Football previews and all the instant reactions for what's going on with your Chicago Bears. Listen live and call in with your opinions, and who knows, maybe I'll have some of those sports guys in the Shy drop by. That's Cedro Sports Show every Monday from 4 to 6 on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
The month of September means exciting pennant races and new hope with the return of the NFL. While Chicago may be lacking in pennant races for 2014, Bears fans have plenty to be excited about entering the season. Spraying to All Fields is making the necessary adjustments, switching focus to all things Bears. I'll provide detailed coverage beginning Week 1, hosting the Bills, through Week 17 in Minneapolis, and hopefully deep into the playoffs. So join me, Jason Kessner, Saturdays 2 to 4 p.m. for Spraying to All Fields, only on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
You're listening to ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. It's not just sports, it's a way of life.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Sam and Joe Show here on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. I'm your host, Sam Piopo, alongside co-host and producer Joe Cerna. And in just a little bit, we're going to get into our World Series coverage. But first, I wanted to ask you a question about Patrick Kane from the Blackhawks. Joe, is he capable of winning the MVP award?
No doubt about it.
Why is that?
I wouldn't say he's a leader, but he's definitely a key player to the Hawks and to the team in general. And just a player like that, you can rely on him so much, and it's hard not to when he's consistently scoring.
Yeah.
So MVP is definitely not out of his reach.
You know, I've always been a supporter of Patrick Kane, but I've also always said that he can never win the MVP.
Why is that?
It's not because of any of his lack of skill or anything like that. It's because of all the talent that's around him. There's not enough scoring to go around for Patrick Kane. If he's like, all right, here's an example. You go to the Tampa Bay Lightning, you have a player like Steven Stamkos. He's the only player on that team.
Yeah.
He wins MVP every year because he scores 50 goals.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, you don't see anybody from a real skilled team win the MVP often, unless you're Sidney Crosby.
Yeah.
But who cares about that jerk? I mean, Patrick Kane, he's always in the race, but he's never able to, pull it out in the end.
Yeah.
He always has a week or two that he struggles to gain points, and that's okay because you have players like Marian Hossa, Jonathan Toews, Patrick Sharp, Donkey Keith, all those players to assist you in the times that you're not producing.
Yeah.
Just thought I'd throw that in there for you.
That's a great one. I never even thought about that. Yeah, it makes sense why he hasn't won.
Yeah. Now we're going to get into our MLB playoff coverage, rather. And it's not the playoffs anymore. It's the Stone Cold World Series. Game 2 was last night. The Royals took on the 49ers. The Giants. 7-2 was a victory for the Royals. Billy Butler and Salvador Perez had some clutch hitting. What did you think of the game last night?
Well, they definitely proved me wrong. I was on a roll for a while, but I thought they were going to sweep them.
You had the Royals in a sweep, yeah.
Yeah. So I think I'm just going to go over to a Game 6. And that
was my pick originally, Royals in 6. Remember that.
I didn't think the Giants could beat the Royals, but I mean it makes sense. They're obviously both in the World Series. Yeah.
The Giants. Here's the Giants. Behind Bruce Bochy, they're such an experienced team when it comes to the World Series that it's hard for them to lose on it. They know what they're doing. They have great pitching behind Madison Bumgarner, but like we saw last night, if he's not pitching, they're beatable.
Yeah.
And Jake Peavy got crushed.
And the thing with Kansas City is they're hungry. I think, what has it been, 29 years? They haven't?
Whatever 1985 is. I won't quote my math because I'll be wrong.
But yeah, they just want it. I think they want it more, way more.
I mean, if you've had it before, you still want to win the World Series again. But if you've had it before, does that hungriness leave you? I mean, I'm not saying you've ever won a World Series, but just a hypothetical question. Does that
It can either go one of two ways. Either you get it and you're like, wow, that was cool, or you get it and you're like, I want more.
Yeah, right.
It depends on the team and them. They're consistently going. They've been in the World Series a lot of times, but they haven't won it.
Yeah.
So I mean, it comes the doubt.
Wait, who, the Giants?
Yeah,
they've won.
They have, but
they've been in it. Yeah, they've been in it 3 times. Yeah.
And I see Kansas City going, we're unstoppable. You're not stopping us now.
Well, here's what you got with Kansas City. You got a fast, young team that's going to be around for a long time now. They're not going anywhere, and I really do think that they're hungry for it. I think they're more hungry than the Giants, but I can still see a scenario where they wind up losing the series because of their lack of their inexperience.
It's definitely not out of the question.
Well, no, and nothing's out of the question in the World Series. Like it's a great phenomenon. I mean, the Giants took an early lead last night, and you thought, oh boy, same thing as Game 1, but no, the Royals came back and wow,
first loss.
Yeah. So the next game, Game 3 of the World Series, heading back to San Francisco, is tomorrow. Who do you got in Game 3?
Kansas City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And no, I don't. I think the Giants win their second and final game of the World Series.
I'll go with that.
I think
You know what? Yeah, because once Kansas City gets on a roll, they're not stopping them. I'll go with Giants win this one, and then after that, they ain't winning anymore.
The series is as follows. It's 2-3-2. So the first 2 games are in Kansas City. The next 3 are in San Fran. So if the Royals lose tomorrow, they would win the next 2 in San Fran, and then we'd win the World Series at home.
Yeah.
That's how I see it right now. I think it's so much of a storyline, a Cinderella story, that just the way
it's hard to go against.
The way it's supposed to end is the way it's gonna end.
Yeah.
It's gonna end with a win in Kansas City, and the fans are gonna go absolutely crazy, and I am jealous.
Extra innings and all.
Yeah, let's just take it easy.
Somebody throws out their arm, comes back to pitch. Oh, no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that's what's gonna happen with the Cubs if they ever. I mean, it makes me jealous, really, as a Cubs fan.
To see that they're never going to go anywhere.
Oh, shut your mouth. You know the Cubs are going to be there. Next year is going to be a different year.
Yeah, they'll be there supporting other teams that are in the World Series.
Wow, that's brutal. You are brutal right now, Mr. Sox fan. I'm going to go ahead and get out of that World Series because you just bothered me there.
Tickled your fancy?
Yeah, right. We're going to get into some Chicago Bulls basketball. They play their final preseason game tonight against the Minnesota Timberwolves. What are you looking for in this final preseason game?
I'm going to go cliche. I'm looking out of more from Derrick Rose.
Well, he had 30 points in that last game he played in.
Yeah. And I want to see them keep that ball rolling.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, you want to see Derek. You want to see Derek perform up to the capability that he can. But the question has been, ever since he's been injured, is he going to be the same player that he used to be?
I think he's going to get better.
No kidding. Better than that MVP style that he was with?
Yeah. And
no chance.
Because he was on his way to a better and furthering career.
Multiple MVPs.
But he got hurt.
Yeah.
And then I didn't see him coming back and winning because of the whole babying of the knees and situation. I've got into that many of times. But he was bound to get hurt again. And he did. And I was right about that. So now I have confidence. When the first return, I didn't see it happen at all.
No, me neither.
This
you remember me saying that.
It's too intense for him not to come back. He's coming back like, no, I'm not getting hurt again. If I do, whatever, but I'm not.
No, if he does, then his career's over. Three injuries to that knee is done. No way. But I disagree with your statement. I don't think he's going to be better than what he was. I don't think it's really possible with the type of injuries that he's had. And you know the injury that he's had. You've experienced the same injury that he's had.
Yeah.
Just for our listeners, Joe, explain how intense that injury is. The torn meniscus.
Well, I have two, actually. One was basketball, and it was a simple layup I went for and tried to dodge a pole. And, yeah, I tore my lateral meniscus.
I don't mean to laugh, but that's funny.
And for my medial meniscus on my right knee, I stepped into a pothole or divot in the dirt playing baseball. And when that stuff rips, oh, man, it rips. You hear it, even though, I don't know, it was intense. It was really intense. Very, you get scared for your ACL and MCL and all that other stuff. But the fact that it was a meniscus tear, you're relieved. Like, oh, okay, at least it's not that bad. Right. It's pretty bad, but it's not that bad. And it's a shorter recovery time. And I think that's what it's all about. When am I going to be able to be back?
I was just going to ask you, what does it take to come back from that type of injury? What do you got to do? Is there a lot of rehabilitation involved, or
it's a lot of physical therapy and consistency, keeping it moving and getting it working again.
Yeah.
But with that tendency, you end up babying the other knee because you're used to that being hurt. And that's why the other one's bound to get hurt because you're used to favoring that.
Right, you're working on the one knee and you're kind of ignoring the other one, right?
And then when that one, it's bound to get hurt. You get that one hurt. And now that you have both of them hurt and repaired, you're back to normal.
Right.
So, yep.
Well,
I see Derrick Rose coming out
you
way
gotta
stronger
hope.
than before.
You gotta hope. I mean, I shouldn't be disagreeing with you because you've experienced it, but I just don't see how a basketball player who makes that type of vicious cuts can come back and be the same, if not better, player than what he was.
Oh, no doubt. He's gonna have that doubt in his mind.
You think so?
He's gonna think twice about certain moves he makes. He's gonna go to cut fast and be, should I cut fast? Or the adrenaline's gonna be even pumping, and he's not gonna really think about it. Just go cut, bam, do his thing.
Right.
And that's usually what it is. He goes, cuts, does his thing, and it's just a weird way he steps or something that hurts him. That's why he should be wearing Nike. I'm just saying. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm not promoting it.
Adidas.
No, but yeah. He stepped the wrong way, and boom.
Yeah.
It happens.
Right. Jimmy Butler, as we know, has a hand injury trying to block a ball. Well, not block. He tried to steal a ball. He did, but he hurt himself. He might not be ready for the season. How important is Jimmy Buckets to this Bulls team?
I think he's pretty important. And it's hard not to think a lot of them are important. Because with the team that they have, they all play their position to the best of their capabilities. And the team is great as a whole.
Right.
And every person is important as the next guy. Just because you don't have as big of a name doesn't cut down your importance to the team. And it goes back to the coach, too. Thibodeau is a great coach. And he really knows how to keep his team together.
I agree. Jimmy Butler's a very important piece of that Bulls team. He's really become one of those premier players for the Bulls, and to see him go down like that, it's not good. But it's good to see that he's day to day. He's not going to miss a lot of time. He'll be back within the first couple of games in the season, if not the first game. They really need Jimmy Butler out there, and once he comes back, the Bulls are pretty much set. Not to mention, Joakim Noah had arthroscopic knee surgery during the season, during the off-season, that is, and he's still trying to work back. He's had slow progress of coming back. It's been tough for Joakim Noah. And, Joe, we all know what intensity Joakim Noah brings to the Bulls. How important is his character, not only in the locker room, but on that court?
Well, if you focus in on Joakim Noah, his center position is just irreplaceable. And his intensity that he gives and what's the word I'm looking for? His intimidation that he brings.
There you go.
It's kind of hard to go up against this guy.
Sure. And if he's unhealthy and he's not playing, you have obviously Pau Gasol there, but you have Taj Gibson. How big of a drop off is Taj Gibson from Joakim Noah?
I don't know. See, they all play their positions well, and then when one replaces the other, it's not the same, but they do equally as good.
Right. I think it's not a huge drop off, but the intensity drop off is there. Taj Gibson is an intense player. He's a great player. He should be the sixth man of the year, the sixth man award he should have, but he never got it for being the best bench player in the league. But Joakim Noah is irreplaceable. He really is.
Yeah.
Taj Gibson, great player, obviously, but Joakim Noah, there's this type of attitude that he brings to the team that I don't think anybody else can really bring. Not even a Derrick Rose.
Yeah.
And that's why you can argue that Joakim Noah is the most important player to that Bulls team.
I don't think most important, but more impact.
So who's the most important player on the Bulls then?
I don't think there's the most important.
Why? Why not?
Because they're all so together as one.
Yeah. But there's always that one player that keeps everything together, is there not?
I guess you could say that. Yeah, I'll agree with you. Joakim Noah is that one.
I mean, he just keeps the team together. Yeah,
he carried the team when Derrick Rose wasn't there.
Absolutely carried that team.
Yeah, most definitely him.
All right, well, hope you guys enjoyed the show. This has been another edition of the Sam and Joe Show. Stay tuned next week where we will have the results of the World Series Of course, we'll have our Bears and Blackhawks and Bulls. And, of course, not to mention our NFL picks of the week. You guys gotta catch those segments. Now, until next week, this has been the Sam and Joe Show. I'm Sam, and he is Joe. See you later, ladies and gentlemen.